Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I figure I'll get started just a little bit early. I made the announcement that the stream would start around 10, and it's around 10. So, oh, my little character's not there. Hold on. Hold on one sec. What's going on here, everybody? What- how is everybody's Sunday going? Let's reload that. And if that doesn't work, where are we? There we are. Let's refresh this guy. There we are. Okay, now everything is good. Just got out of the shower and I am sweating, so it should not be so hot. I think that that should be a general rule that it just should not be so hot. It's a nice quiet day, good day for a chill stream. Yay! I agree, 100%. So, I'm kind of torn, and maybe you can help me decide, chat. I I want to finish up these two, this one and this one. I want to finish those up. Also, I guess I should show you guys the the fruit of my labors. The oh, I could have put fruit in here. Anyway, um, this was the contest entry for I was about to say where is it? Yeah, sorry. This was the contest entry that I was working on for quite a while, and the reason that my hand hurts so much now. But yes, let me get situated here. I could have situated myself before the stream, but y'all know how it is. Babs, don't put your clothes in that chair. My goodness, she's such a beast. All right. Like I sat down and had some water and all that. And I'm like, if I don't start the stream right now, even if I'm not ready, then it's not getting started. So okay. So this is the picture that I started with in the very beginning, the trees and all of that. This was also the one that I did last. I finished last. So from the last time you guys saw, I added a lot more of the brown mushrooms, and I added some of these velvet foot mushrooms. I think that's what they were called. The velvet foots, the velvet feet, not to be confused with proud feet and proud foot. Water turned out pretty nice. I think I could still proud feet, yes. I could still afford to work on it, but I could not physically do any more water. Um, Added a lot more grass because it was just too much to do the water. But I am happy with it. Don't make any changes. No, no, no. My rule, and this goes for every single painting I've ever done, is once it's signed, I am not allowed to touch it because I will ruin everything. But this is signed. So there's my name in real life is Tiff. So yeah, that is what I sign all my work with. And I don't really I know I should do watermarks and all that. I don't know. For me, I love to share my work, and if somebody feels the need to steal it, like it's going to suck for me, and I hope that they don't, but also I just want people to see it and enjoy it. And maybe even if it's stolen, well they can kind of find their way back to me, is what I hope. It might be naive, but it is what it is. So, yeah, for those of you who haven't seen my work before or just haven't seen a completed one, which fair, I don't have many completed ones. I try to do one picture at least for every angle. So this one is facing up at that point, but also this one here with the pumpkins. It can be looked at like you're looking at it from below, as well as having it fall this way here. So there's that. I added a face profile here from the rocks, which surprises no one. I wasn't exactly expecting to do it, and it was definitely the final hour that I added it. Before it was just rocks, just regular old rocks. And I kind of went to war with myself for a little bit. It's like I have so much left to do to finish it, and there's just so much left to do. And it was literally the the end of the contest, like the day of a few hours to spare. And that one still wanted to be, so I had to make those changes, as well as the trees here. If y'all would like to see, let me see here. I think I'll just do socials, and you can go and look on my Instagram, and I post the works in progress. So all of the past changes, like everything is documented. Everything is there, so you can go and see the trees. They were kind of a hot mess, um, and the first thing I did when I went in to do the final touch was I fixed the trees, and I fixed um, the sky behind the trees. Also, it was way too bright, so I added some of this dark purple, blue purple type. So I did that. And then the waterfall kind of came from that, and also the different colored rocks. I tried to have them blue, and they were just I was not feeling it at all. And when all else fails, I kind of just go for the opposite color in the color wheel. Because I wanted to put green on there since this whole galaxy scene was green. And it all just it was blah. It melted into the green scene, but it showed nothing from a barrier point of view, and that's kind of what I wanted it to be. A break between the scenes, since there's so much green in both of these scenes next to each other. And once I put down some dark red and a little bit of orange, it just popped, and everything else kind of fell into place. So yeah, so there's this scene as well. I really really like how this waterfall came out, specifically this part right here. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm pointing to with my mic, but yeah. So that's a different direction, and let me bring this about. Where are we going here? Here. I also I honestly, I'm really just proud of this picture. Like total, I just love how it came out. But the one thing I really keep going back to is this scene back here and how it's blurred. But there's still so much going on. I just love how it came out. And of course another face rock. And I think the biggest challenge for me, besides the water, and like water is always going to be challenging. That's just how it is. That's that's the nature of water. It takes a while, but eventually it falls into place. But the flowers, I think I need to practice flowers more because these like they're okay, but they don't really, they're kind of basic in my opinion. So I could for sure do flowers better. That was a bit of a challenge. But I still like how everything came out. And before, hold on, where am I going? Um, Flowers look fine to me. Thank you, Skynet. I mean, I'm not going for just fine. I want them to be the absolute best they could be. So it just takes practice, not being down on myself or anything like that. Whee! Yeah, exactly. The most fun that you can have with a picture, especially when um, what's it called? Lost my train of thought. Oh, when viewing a picture from all points of view, all directions, sometimes you just gotta spin it. But this is the mushroom guy, your favorite, Skynet. He's so inquisitive. Look at him. He's gonna be an astronomer. And I wanted at the end of the day, I just wanted the cat to be a plain black silhouette. Um, because there was so much else in there and so much color that the cat was the void point for me. So nasty ass mushroom guy. No, he's sweet. I bet you can if you're quiet in the middle of the night, you can hear his little pitter patter. Can you hear him, Skynet? He just wants to sleep in your bed with you. But yeah, so that is the finished picture. The cats are always complicit. I mean, honestly. When do you hear back about the contest? I think, oh gosh, it's gonna be a while because they still need to judge and everything. So it might not be until September. It might be end of August, but I think the last one it took a little longer than that. So yeah, if you guys want to go check it out, if you do Instagram, I think let me see. I know I wrote it down, and I think what it is CSP Contest 44. Yeah. So if you want to check out um, all of the entries, there were a lot, but I tried to just not look at them because last time I looked at them and got really discouraged. So, but that's the hashtag on Instagram if anybody wanted to go and take a look at some of the other works. There's so many talented people out there. I think when I put mine in, and there were a few hours left, there were like 3,000 or 4,000 people who had already entered. So there's a lot. There was a lot of people. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm going to turn my mic down just a little bit because it looks like it's redlining. But let me know if my mic is too quiet here in just a sec. Testing, testing, testing. I can switch it up if I need to. Um, Sounds fine. Okay, good. I just didn't want to blow out the eardrums of anybody listening in using headphones. All right, so yeah, that is the first finished piece I've done in a while. I have a lot of ones that are near completion. Cough, 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 cough. But the decision that I need you guys to help me with is I kind of want to start a new one and just do a galaxy. So maybe I'll do that as a warm up, but I don't know how long this stream is going to be. So if you'd like to see me work on the forest, if you want to see me work on this one, say forest. If you want to see me work on this one, say castle. And if you want me to work on a new one, just say new. And everybody gets a vote. I don't know how to do polls yet, but eventually I will figure that out. So whoever is in chat and wants to let me know what they want, yeah, we'll just talk for a second while y'all think about it, and also make sure you drink some water. It is hot out there. This is it this one? No, it's not this one. I started listening to this lady, the previous person that we just listened to, Charlotte Jane. I really like her voice. She does a cover of mm, 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 what's that song called? Darn it, I just had it in my brain and then I started looking for it. Um, oh, Redbone. She does a version of Redbone that's really pretty. I'm struggling with my own works in progress, so I vote new. Okay, good. Um, because I'm glad you said that. Because the new one I wanted to work on was actually a galaxy for somebody's birthday. So if said somebody, Skynet, would like to choose some colors, I'm gonna make you a galaxy. I can't guarantee it's going to stay just a galaxy, but you get to choose the colors. As many or as few as you'd like. Excuse me. I will start with black. Um, I know that's predominantly what you would choose as your color scheme anyway. Man, my allergies are terrible. All it takes is going outside one time, even just to like take out Babs's litter box trash. That's all it takes. Red and purple are generally the only colors I can stand wearing, so all right, red and purple it is. I am totally good with that. I'll defer to the experts. Honestly, red and purple will make a fabulous galaxy. All we need to do is bring up some brushes here. I was looking at some of my previous galaxies, like the ones that I started with. Let me actually, I think I can actually show you. Yeah, I think this is, give me one sec, the background that I used to use, not that one. I'm trying to dissect my OBS sources here. There it is. So that was like my first Galaxy learning. Um, and then you have the latest Galaxy that I was working on. So I definitely think that I've made some improvements. um, just it's I love doing galaxies, but I'm very very happy with my progression. So yeah, let me just put everything back to where it needed to be. Alrighty. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Galaxies are something that I've always liked doing no matter the medium, so I think what I'm going to do, I like to start like obviously just have the black background and then where did I put my pen? I am a mess today, y'all. Okay. What? What happened? How did this happen? I'm you and me both, yeah. Okay, I'm glad it's not just me, but like what? It's just gone off my desk. Do I okay, it's not in my hair. It's not behind my ear. I literally just had it. What? I am baffled. Okay, all right. It fell behind the monitor and was like propped up halfway so I couldn't see it. So, all right. Y'all. So I think I'm going to start with a few stars here and there, and then most of these will get pushed into the background later. And I usually do, you know, these just real quick background stars, specifically to blend them in and make them look farther away. Yay, sky glitter, exactly. Ooh, yeah, I have an idea. Okay, good deal. Y'all get to watch the magic happen. I had an idea. Don't like that one. How am I gonna do? Just sketching something out. It's fine. Nothing to see here. It is your goth galaxy. You see things starting to appear, huh? Gothaxy. mm, sounds like some, I don't know, British disease. Just a lot of like really faint because it's all so far away. But I wanted to sketch a little something something for you. Getting there already. I I like when the muse hits like right away. It's it's great. That's just good news for everybody. It is honestly welcome back everybody. Sorry I didn't warn you about the ad. I do my best to look out for you, but sometimes I get a little involved with what's happening on stream. So I miss it. But I do try. I just realized I didn't change my my stream information. Um, it still says I'm going to finish the contest entry. Not that it really matters, but yeah, it's true. It's true. He's nice and creepy as opposed to creepy and creepy like the mushroom guy. Poor mushroom guy can't get no love. He can't help how he was born. An abomination. That looks cool. I'm back in my house taking a water break. Yay! It is hot out. Wanted to check back in. Yeah, this I with the votes of chat, specifically Skynet, decided to do something new today instead of working on some of the other stuff. Um, but I'm doing this for Skynet's birthday, and that's coming up shortly. Thanks. We're doing a Gothic Galaxy. I hope you don't mind me telling people that it's your birthday coming up, Skynet. Okay. It's all good. Thanks, Eddie. It's crazy how this year has gone by, right? I'm turning 35 next month. Happy early birthday. And I'm not entirely sure where the last decade went. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how time flies. I mean, just this year has been crazy, but yeah, the last decade, like there's no telling. There's really no telling. It's just it's gone in the ether, really. It only gets worse as you get older. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, 35 is great, Addie. The mind starts going after you hit 40. Just saying. Something to look forward to. No, I like it. I don't want to say that I enjoy getting older, but I do enjoy not having so many like 20s things to deal with, you know? I think mine started going early. Oh yeah, no, me too. Like there was a lot of uncertainty and all that, and I'm glad that I made it through to the other side. It's great. 30s were awesome. So far, 40s have not been. Yeah, no, falling apart 40s for real. Yeah, what a what a time. I think I prefer my 30s to my 20s for sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can't tell anybody in their 20s that that's going to happen, but that's 100% what happens. I think that's a little too much. There we go. That seems to be my brother's sentiment as well. Yeah, getting there, but oh, I'm glad I'm not still like young, having to deal with all the shit that's been going on. Like, uh, life lessons, right? Things you never thought you'd figure out, about about where you want to be. Like it all comes from knowing where you don't want to be, I think. Yeah, at some point it just becomes, too much. Too much. The more drama you remove from your life, the better off everything gets. I think my issue was that I wanted to be too much. And a lot of the times in your 20s, it's often you want to be too much for other people. Spread too thin. Oh yeah. Yeah, gotta take that time for yourself. That's also something that I've learned getting older is, if something is not right, like if you're not feeling it, just go home, Like if you're not having fun, go find some fun. It's and I think I've talked about it on here before, how it's like, you light yourself on fire trying to keep other people warm, and that's just not sustainable at all. I have embraced the introverted homebody lifestyle. Same. And it's been great, honestly. It does make going out even harder when you do have to go out, but that is just something to deal with. Yeah. In the end, it's all relative too. Luckily, I don't have to go out often. Same. I That's one thing, it sucks being unemployed when, like, the money's not coming in, but um at the same time, this time that I've just had to myself has been absolutely invaluable. Usually, if I leave the house, it is to go hiking with my dogs. That is a good reason to leave your house. Usually, if I leave my house, it is for groceries and straight home. Sometimes library, but yeah, most of the time, I just want to go home. I'm lucky. I'm unemployed at the moment. My spouse makes a good wage, so it's not hurting us too much financially. That's good. That's good. I luckily had some savings to fall back on. I was just at a point in the job where they were not doing a good job taking care of their employees. And I had complained. They had moved us to this new space, and they it was pretty poorly managed, but they moved us to this new space that was not fit for humans and just made it terrible. So I had to leave. I have work available when I'm ready to go back. It's just burnout. Yep, that's exactly where I was too. My work involves a lot of death. Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks. That you need a lot of fortitude to deal with that for sure. There's some serious workplace harassment going on. Oh, hell no. You just let me know. I'm gonna go and punch him in the face for you. Just had to stop. Mental health was not okay. Yeah, I totally get it. Totally get it. Yeah. The good news is like I did have some savings, so that was one kind of burden that for a while took that and made it okay. And you know, not working was exactly what I needed for sure. Now, of course, I do need to figure something out, and the interview I went on recently seemed to be really well received. I got a second interview already. Like he told me pretty much from the beginning that he wanted me to meet with the other person who was going to handle like where I would be working. So it it seems to be going well, but yeah, that is good. I honestly don't know what I would have done without my spouse's support. Yep. Yeah. I'm also fortunate where I knew if worse comes to worse, if I did run out of savings, I had a few people who I could rely on. So like I'm definitely not without support myself, for sure. I would not have made it without like knowing that it was okay to take a few months for myself and you know feel better. Yeah, they they were not a good employer at the very end. It was one of those where you could tell that things were kind of imploding because they would hire people from the outside who like didn't have the company values and anything like that. And yeah, it was just a mess. But I the last 2 weeks that I was there. I was the lights they had growing lights because I used to work in a cannabis company, and so they had grow lights instead of regular lights above us, and it was ridiculous. I wore my baseball cap pulled all the way down, and I wore sunglasses the entire time, and I had a migraine the entire 8-hour workday, and it was just not okay. And I had tried to get them to make an accommodation, and they wouldn't do it without a doctor. And I didn't have a doctor at the time, and I would have to put in my headphones, my inner ear headphones, and then put large, like those what are they called? Earmuffs. I could only think of the word muff, even though ear is the main component. So those like large industrial earmuffs, I had to wear those because there was machinery right next to us as well, and everything echoed. It wasn't insulated, so like it was hot, and we were all crammed in there. The space was way too small for us, and I complained to the manager. The manager was kind of new, and she didn't know what she was doing, which also sucks. Like you should go in prepared to like fight for your team, and that just was not happening. So yeah, it's the final nail in the coffin was like I had been trying to get them to let me work in the break room because there was natural light. Um, And they kept refusing, and wouldn't let me go and work out there. And I sucked it up because what are you gonna do? Uh, and one day we could not find our manager, and I eventually go out because I needed to take a bathroom break, and I saw her working in the lounge, by the window in the sun because she couldn't take it. And that was like, yeah, I'm not coming back in on Monday. I'm done. That is not okay. So it's like she disappeared from everybody. Nobody knew where she had gone or anything like that. Yeah, exactly. And like the thing is, people who have been in that situation, they get it right away. Like, yeah. So fully fully get where you're coming from. Okay, let's see what we got here. Right, right. I figured. Yeah. Kind of kind of ridiculous the shit that we have to put up with just to make money and go home. Like it should not be this hard. I work in a very rewarding but very toxic field. Nice. I mean, I'm glad that it's rewarding, but yeah, really shouldn't. I mean, we can't really help where our calling is. Sometimes we just gotta go with the flow. I think y'all are in break, so I will pause on that conversation. Okay. It's interesting because the ad break counter still says that I've got 30 seconds until you guys come back. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm glad that you're able to take a break because even though it might be rewarding, you got to take care of yourself before anything else. My ads always seem to end before the counter. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Hope the break wasn't too bad. Pull this out before I get too invested in it. Yeah, it's really nice to find work that is both rewarding and not too soul sucking that you can't do it again after a while. Like I really loved my job. I considered it my forever job for a long time. I was there for almost, yeah, 6 years. And like I had a paid sabbatical coming up, and it just they kept coming up with new like stipulations for it. So it made it harder for people to take the breaks that they had earned. Um, And yeah, it just got to the point where it was me or the company, and I chose me. Don't think I like this galaxy as much as I want to, so it is gone. Hey there, Lucky. How are you, my friend? Welcome in. I am having a chill day. Just a nice chill Sunday with a brand new galaxy. I'm doing this for Skynet, whose birthday is coming up in a few days. Welcome in. I hope your weekend is going great. Okay, for sure, Lucky. We've got an ad break starting in about a minute, folks. Just FYI. I love the rest of this song, but I cannot stand a ringing phone that nobody's answering. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you don't mind, Skynet. I decided I'm going to add a tree. Try to make it creepy to go with the theme. Well, if you have any requests for your picture, let me know. There you go. I'll make it blue. That's what happens if I change the paper layer. I just wanted to see the tree. I couldn't see it. Oof, right. Hey, you said that I should do me. It is The Killers. I think this is their new one. I really like it though. It's called Just Another Girl. Oh no, it's all the way back from 2013. Why haven't I heard this song? Like it's been on my playlist, but like I haven't heard it before that. I don't think I've heard this one either, and I've had quite a few of their albums. Yeah, yeah, it says 2013, which is really surprising. Killer's over here killing it. Nobody even notices. Hey, Doom, welcome in. Thanks for the lurk, homie. We're just having a nice, quiet, very chill Sunday afternoon. I know it's pretty hard to see. I'm just putting down the darker layer for the tree pattern, but I'm using a dark purple here um, to stick with the requested theme colors of red and purple. I did, of course, throw some blue in little teeny tiny spaces as well, because I just need blue in everything that I do. You can add more colors if needed. No, no. We're gonna keep with the theme for the most part. I have the rest of this autumn leaf palette that I'm using for the tree colors, so might have a few oranges and reds. I mean, a few oranges and little brief bits of yellow, but for the most part, we are sticking with the theme. And you'd think, like that the dark color that you can barely see wouldn't really make a difference, but it honestly does. It adds a pretty big depth of color into the tree bark itself. So, in case anyone was ever wondering, if you're trying to draw the trees in like the texture that I'm using, I'm really just like I start with the black base, and then capture it so there's no strays. Because honestly, doing it this way, you're gonna get some strays. So make sure you make sure you cover it up, and then just go back and forth with a vague tree pattern. I like the loops, so that's what most of my trees will have is the loops going back and forth, up and over each other, and then with every color you use, get incrementally brighter. And of course, pay attention to where your light source is. There's a lot of different light sources in this picture, but since I have the planets lit from the right, that is where I will focus my light on the tree as well. So like that's really what you got to pay attention to. Um, but the dark, almost black color, a lot of the times like I'll use a dark brown, um, and it really does make a difference. So if you're doing your tree bark this way, those are the things to remember. Make sure you choose at least three colors to do on this tree, each of them getting lighter and lighter. And even on like the smallest branches, try to get little streaks here and there. 'Cause it really does make a difference if it's not just flat black. And I already know something else that I'm going to add once I get the tree done. And not just more branches, because I wanted to get the main branches put up, but honestly, it was so hard to see that I couldn't put any more down without figuring something else out. So I figure I just go with the tree details until I figured it out. But eventually, it will look like, the tree is standing out, and it won't disappear so much. But I do think now that I'm looking at the planets, I might want to flip the light and have the light coming from the opposite direction. So let's go ahead and transform. Um, Flip horizontal. Okay, let's see here. Mm, 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 mm. Let me cancel that. Going to transform one more time and then scale and rotate as well. I think, yeah, can pretty much put them anywhere. I really liked this one here, though. We can always undo it. Let's see. No, we'll figure it out. I need to take a quick restroom break, but I will return shortly, y'all. Just give me a sec, and I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Thank you for your patience. Let's see here. I think I'm just gonna leave the planets. I'm looking back on my other uh, my other trees, and I was thinking that I tend to have the light coming from the left in a lot of my trees. So I think I'm going to leave it and have it coming from the right instead. So I'm going to leave those planets how they are. And also, I think it'll help to have the light coming from the right side also because there's this giant dark space here, which of course is going to be in space. You're going to find plenty of wide black spaces. So yeah, we're gonna keep on keeping on with exactly how it was going before, and I'm not going to try to change it. But here comes the second lightest color. It's going to be another purple, and just start where you know your light source is going to be, and eventually you're going to have kind of have an idea about where your next light is coming from, if that makes sense. So just kind of keep with the same. Here, I'll even make it bigger. It doesn't look. It's just a bunch of scribbles up close, but I want you to see the. I'm basically following the lines that I already created, but giving them a little bit of an enhancement. Making sure that I leave some dark spaces as well. So your dark spaces are going to be just as important as the light spaces. As Bob Ross always stressed, you need the dark to recognize the light. For anyone who is maybe having a time out there, you know, it's it's just a matter of time before things get better. But I also make sure that the lines aren't just like circles within this structured space. It's important if you're doing a spherical object to include the sides. So instead of just making like a circle here in the middle and highlighting there, I'm pretending like the circle is half off this tree. It's hidden, but it's still there, if that makes sense. But since this is a medium transition color between the when I'm going to add the red and the warmer colors, um, it's going to be put on a lot of the darker spots just because you're going to need a medium color. You don't want just black and then the dark purple or the dark brown or whatever your transition colors are. You're still going to have very, like slight hints of light. And so instead of using a whole bunch of the next shade up, I'm just going to go over a lot of the dark colors with this medium purple. Um, and it's going to give it more of an illusion of being three-dimensional rather than just sitting there on the page. And I try to always keep um, the idea that the light source is there even if I can't see it. So when you're doing something with the light source, say like this one's going to be from the right, keep that in the back of your head, if you're following along with me here. Hey, Oro, how are ya? Welcome, welcome. Let me pull this back. I am doing I'm doing a birthday picture for Skynet, whose birthday is in a couple of days. So this is where we're at so far. I did not feel like working on all the works in progress I have. Yeah. So kind of doing like a gothic galaxy, and because I can't go without putting a tree in. You know how it is. You do amazing backgrounds. Thank you. It is something that I get a lot of joy from, so I appreciate that. I think one of my favorite things to do is to get the backgrounds, and what I what I've been kind of considering is doing backgrounds for people to purchase and use on their streams and stuff. Your style feels similar to mine. Yeah, I can see that, especially with your last dragon. I like this song, but the reason I put it on a playlist is because of the singer's accent. I just love how they say nowhere. Absurd amounts of detail. Uh-huh. Yeah. Crazy, crazy amounts of detail. Looks like we've got an ad starting in about a minute, folks, just FYI. But you can kind of already see, and this is just with the black background and the dark purple and the lighter purple as the medium light color, that it's already coming along, and looking less flat. So that is the goal with keeping your light source in mind, and where it would touch. Even if just the slightest bit of light touches, it's gonna leave its mark. So you never really want full black, full dark, unless it's meant to be that full dark. Just helps with the contrast. I'm working on an art fight. Took me 15 hours. Goodness gracious, just for three-fourths of a dragon head. That's pretty crazy, man. If you want to spend your time that way, I admire you. That's crazy. Good for you, though. I would be looking for easier ways to get it done. To me, easier means less quality. I mean, look at mine, man. If you think that, that's totally cool. But yeah, time doesn't always equal quality, and you know, spending less time on something so you can devote your time to something else, and making it even better, that's also good. Try not to judge other artists for how they get things done. But you're on ad break, so you can't hear me say this. Welcome back, everybody. Before I was talking before I realized y'all were on break, so I'll kind of repeat my main points. It's great if you want to put that much time in, but it's definitely not less quality just because somebody chooses to find an easier way to do their detailing or do something like that. If you're spending all that time, that's great, but I will never say that my technique is better quality than someone else's just because of the amount of time. No, I just wanna like put that out there. It if you want to go through and do it, the traditional way, which is more, like painting every scale. That's totally fine, but the that doesn't make the quality of someone's work better or worse than someone else's. Probably worded better than me. Yeah, I'm sure you mean no offense or anything, and I'm not taking it as an offense. Just putting that out there. But I'm always very cautious about saying something that might insinuate that somebody didn't work as hard or that somebody, like their talent does not always mean that they spend thousands of hours on a project. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, totally fine. But just making it, making sure, especially for audience members who might not know that you didn't mean offense or that their work is less quality because they use a texture brush, for instance. Yeah. For me personally, especially knowing with how my hand gets, I need to look for different things that will help me to finish a picture, basically. So the thing I think I spend the most time on besides water, water and trees, those are things that I definitely spend a lot more time on. They don't have, special brushes for that. But something like the galaxy back here, I think my galaxy has been really popping off ever since I found some brushes that I could work with. So yeah, like taking texture brushes or something like that. It's what's the word I'm looking for here? Um, no, it's not less or more quality just because you find something that works for you, basically. especially like when it comes to traditional painting, like you have no choice to 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 do that full on the hard way. Like I have one traditional painting. Um, it's a tool. It's not doing it for you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's still talent to take a brush that's just like a texture and then turning it into something else. But I have one that I have probably over 100 little tiny skulls, and I did them all by hand. And like it came out looking great. It definitely took a long time to to get that going. Um, but yeah, it's just another brush as far as I'm concerned. You know, if like I know that I can do it by hand, but I choose to try and finish pictures in a reasonable amount of time. But I see what you're talking about, Oro. Brushes are just assist in making things better. Yeah, yeah, and if there's something that you can't do, but you can find a tool that will help you do it, you know, that's more art. You know, that's adding art into the world. If it took you 20 minutes or if it took you, you know, 15 hours. I don't know if you ever watched Six Feet Under, but the youngest daughter was an artist, and in art school, one of her assignments was to draw a perfect circle, not because there weren't tools to do it for her, but because she needed to learn the skill first. Yeah, yeah, and like these are all just tools, and it takes talent to use them. You know, if it if it's a pre-existing shape or pre-existing like something you need, or if it's just a regular brush and you're creating the texture yourself, you know, it's still something that you took and you created something from nothing. So, so yeah, I will always clarify that kind of that kind of statement. Not that I think you meant anything by it, Oro, just that I know plenty of people who would would take offense uh, to something like that. And you know, it's the amount of passion and the amount of talent you have, regardless of the tools you use. No, I appreciate you clarifying. Of course. Did not mean it that way. Not a problem. I figured you didn't. I've known you long enough, you know, and you put in a giant amount of work, like not not to downplay anything you're doing as well. You know, just a crazy amount of details that you do. And I am also a detail person, so I completely understand putting you know, putting 500 hours and stuff into a single project, you know, and how proud you must be of that because it's definitely hard work. It is hand cramping hard work. So you should be proud of that. I'm not didn't think that you meant to insult anybody. I wouldn't do that. That's insane. Yeah, yeah. It is insane. Sometimes it takes me years to finish a traditional painting, just because, yeah, exactly. And I think I have some of my traditional pieces put up on my Instagram, but not the most detailed ones, I think. I don't think I've put those up there yet. Um, but yeah, it's a lot. I have one that I've been working on and off for like 10 years. I just sold one fairly recently that I had had since like 2017. Um, and I just do it when I can, when I feel the muse coming on. So it's it's crazy the amount of time that goes into artwork, and so many people who are not artists can't even comprehend that level, like spending more than an hour drawing something. I think for my digital art would probably lean around 30 plus hours for really absurdly detailed. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure, like especially since I have it on streams and stuff, I can go back and track how many hours I spent on pieces. Um, I usually don't um, I usually don't work on them off stream. Um, so yeah, it's a good amount of hours, especially those like 7 hour, 6 to 7 hour streams. All right, so now that I got the other like the base colors down, now I'm going over the tree, the highlights, not everywhere that I have the lighter purple, but definitely highlighting some of that lighter purple here, that medium transition colors, the purple I'm talking about, but also making especially sure that I preserve the darker parts. Those are the most important parts in this picture right now. I work off stream for some because watching someone draw circles for 25 plus hours would probably be boring. Yeah, no, I get it. That's one reason that I kind of finished the contest entry offline, because one, because I needed to concentrate, and hosting a stream, it does take some energy. So I made the executive decision to finish it, especially because most of it was just drawing waves. I'm like, I'm not sure how much you guys would really want to watch waves being drawn, and redrawn and then redrawn and then listen to me scream. So like sometimes I'll work offline, but for a lot of them, I won't. So on the third color here, I chose red because it is one that really stands out. So at the same time that you're doing these highlights, you definitely want to keep in mind, one, the light source and how bright it is, and two, um, how much darkness is all around. If there's a lot of darkness, then you're going to want more bright light, to kind of contrast that. Light source is really important. Yes, exactly. So the red was what I chose to go over the purple because it is a shock color. So, and that's just what I call it. But it also brings the background forward because there's so much red in the background. I feel like some artists forget that part. Oh yeah. And like sometimes I forget that part too. It's it's one of those like, wait, oh no, that was artistic license. There's no light over there. So now that it's kind of brought back, you can already see the gradient of red to light purple to dark purple to black. And I will probably also add either one of the lighter orange shades or even yellow to finish off. Um, where the smallest bits of light hit. So even I forget exactly where light source is sometimes, and that's literally what I specialize in. Yeah. Yeah, that is why I am so grateful for the transform tool. You don't have to redo everything. You can just throw it on back in reverse. But most of these red highlights won't be anywhere where the darker stuff is. So that was another reason to kind of lay down that middle transition color. It's just another bridge between all of the different colors. Of course, with rendering is fairly easy to correct in most cases. Just change the values and things. Uh-huh, exactly. Can also get very complicated when you got 100 layers all interacting with each other. Oh, you don't gotta tell me. I know that for a fact. Gotta be really good with color theory to fix it then. Or you just gotta stick with it until you figure it out. Yeah. Like um I am fairly self-taught, especially on the digital part. So the more I learn, the better I feel. Um, but yeah, layers still get me 100%, especially if they have to interact. It's like, oh, okay, let me go through and find where the the overlap is and erase it. That's why I make sure and label my layers fairly quickly if I get a lot of them. And I will label them specifically for things that I know I will need later on. In some cases, you probably have to remake it or just leave it how it is. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, a lot of the times I will just create a brand new layer that will go over both of the problem layers and just go from there. Like, I ain't got time for this. Mi palabra es la ley. Y'all will work for me or get deleted. Interacting is literally what rendering is. It utilizes math to change colors of things, so you got a whole lot involved. Uh-huh. Can get mega complex in a hurry. Yeah, I would just prefer to not have, the complexity. I would just rather do art, as long as it feels good and it looks good, everybody's having a good time, I'm good with it. I think art is it's a very inclusive activity, which is why it's so fun to stream art projects. So I would prefer to like just play around and figure it out, and then have other people who want to share their knowledge and want everybody to learn. Usually the programs dumb it down enough you don't even have to you don't even realize it's using math. Yeah. Like what I do is definitely not math related. I will go to the ends of the earth to avoid math. I just like to share. That's all I want, really. Does your brush use any sort of color dodge? Not unless I want it to. I usually don't use color dodge. I'm a big fan of adding glow, and I typically stick to either normal or multiply depending on what I'm doing and what I need it for. Multiply is literally math. I mean, yes, in the definition sense, but yeah, okay. I mean, it's just called multiply. I'm not seeking out to multiply it. But welcome in case I haven't said that in enough time. I know a lot of people are stopping in right now. So welcome in. I hope you're all having a good day. Just working on a quick galaxy, having a good time. I'm glad you're all here. Hope your Sundays are going well. And also, if you like what you see and you want to see more, please consider giving me a follow if you're not already following. I'm on my way to 111 followers. That is my current goal, just because I really like multiples of three. Makes me feel lucky. Guess I can drop my socials for anybody who is interested. There's a lot of works in progress on Instagram as well as Discord. Discord, there's space for your art and art you love as well. So if you're an artist, please feel free to hop on in. Love to share other people's art. So let's try an orange here, just for an extra highlight that's not going to really reach everywhere that the red does. Certainly not anywhere the dark purple does, but it's just an added layer. I try to do at least two different shades, like two shades above in a different color. just highlighting a few things on the tree. But since it's so dark around it, I don't want to highlight it too much. It's not like it's a tree in broad daylight. Hydrate reminder, everybody. And also, check your posture. Every time I catch myself slouching, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna pay for it later. And looks like we've got an ad break starting in about a minute, folks. Just FYI. Make sure you grab something to drink, do a little stretch, do a dance if you need to. Just don't stay in front of the computer. Take a human moment. Anybody seen any good movies? Doesn't have to be in the theaters. No spoilers, of course, but that's something we can talk about uh, when y'all get back. What kind of movies do I like? Oh, let's wait till the ad break is over and then I'll answer. Did the ad break just start? Looks like it did. I don't know why it warned so ahead of time. I'm like sitting here in silence thinking everybody's on on break. Technology. Welcome back, everybody. To answer your question, Addie, I like a lot of different kinds of movies. Fantasy, horror, sci-fi, I think are pretty much my favorites. Um, I like I like movies that are kind of scary or trippy, but I also really like comedies. I pretty much avoid anything that's too sad. Um, I don't need that in my life. She likes ones with Dirks in them. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't have any problem with Dirks. I yeah, Lord of the Rings, always a favorite. Movies like Annihilation, but also, if it's good horror, I will watch it and rewatch it all the time. Like As Above, So Below. But yeah, also sci-fi like Annihilation and um, The Martian, all sorts of stuff. We just watched. I had only seen it for the first time yesterday, but the Best Exotic uh, Marigold Hotel. I always get all the different words in the title mixed up, but that's the essence of it. And it was really good. It was really cute. You sound like you have similar tastes as me. Sweets. Well, then I definitely want to know if you've seen anything good, Eddie. I'm looking forward to some of the Marvel movies coming up, but uh, I haven't seen some of the most recent ones, so definitely no spoilers. I will hopefully get to watch Thunderbolt soon. Have you seen Space Sweepers? No, I've never heard of it actually. Let me write it down. Is it a recent movie? Space Sweepers. But my tastes also go all the way to a lot of Disney movies I enjoy. So it really just depends if the mood strikes me. And let's see, what was the other one we watched? Presents. That came out recently, and like no spoilers, but that one was just kind of weird. And then Problemista we just watched yesterday as well, and that one was also weird, but not unenjoyable, just very strange. 2021, I think, but I watched it only recently. It's Korean, I believe, but the dubs, if you use them, are good. It's on Netflix. Oh, sweet. I will check it out then. Space Sweepers. Got it. Just gonna kind of freehand some of the highlights on this one because it wasn't picked up on the original protected part. There we go. It was hard to see with all the lines in the way protecting it. Another I watched recently is Still See You. I liked it quite a bit. Oh, what's that one? Still See You? Wow, the details in that zoomed in looks insane, right? I know what I'm going to do with the tree. I just want it to be a little bit more where the highlights will show up. The protection is great, but also it can sometimes take away some of the smaller branches. There we go. No spoilers, but it takes place 10 years after a world-changing event. Ooh, just my style. I do love a good apocalyptic movie as well. I will check those out. Actually, let me write it down. Still See You. Is that one also on Netflix? It's on Prime, but leaves in a couple days. Oh, okay. I will check it out and see if it is right up my alley as it sounds. It's so hard to see that there's actually other pieces of this branch because it's so dark, but I don't want all of it to be showing. So I temporarily gave up on yard work. Hey, you did yard work. You didn't not do yard work today, so you can safely say that you did it. It doesn't have to be complete. Working on a photo album for a friend and said, "See, that's better. That's a better use of your time. You did enough for today. Time for some fun." I am always here to help you find a way to excuse behavior that's not doing chores. Yard work is never ending, so any work you do counts as plenty. Exactly, exactly, Skynet. Sweet. See, I don't want I want the tree to, obviously be there as a tree, but I didn't want it to be so highlighted that it took away from the background. So I haven't mowed the lawn in weeks, and it's mostly dandelions, but those things get so tall. Yeah, I mean, they do, but they'll be there next week. Okay, so since it's you, Skyna, and I do know you, I'm gonna put a couple of skulls in here, and I think I want them hanging from the tree. Yeah, it's a lot easier to find dog poop to pick up when the grass and weeds are short, though. It's true. We have some dandelions, but we actually switched to a clover lawn instead of grass a couple years ago. Nice. Good for you. Honestly, it chokes most of the weeds out. There's your excuse to move to clover, Skynet. If you need a better excuse. Did you add some clover? Nice. I didn't realize you had moved on to that step. I see. Mm, I'm trying to find the base color that I want for the skull, and I think that one's it. I think I just can't hold up to dog traffic. Yeah, there is that. I routinely go through the yard and pick 4 and 5 leaf clovers and make resin art. Ooh, that's cool. I've always wanted to get into working with resin. How do you like it? Yeah, I planted a fair amount. The grass is still there, and I don't mind the dandelions, honestly, because it's good food for the bees. Yeah. And I like the bursts of color. They just get really high, right? I like it a lot, though I'm still new to it. Hey, that's all good. That's cool. Oops. Oh no. Make it work. Obviously, I'm going to clean these up. They're just placeholders. I mostly use UV resin, but I want to shift that because you can do more with the slower drying kind. The pretty much the only thing that I know about resin is that it looks really cool and you need to use a mask and gloves. And that's kind of what's held me back so far because like I get kind of chicken shit about working with chemicals. You don't really need a mask with UV resin. Oh, nice. It sets quickly. But the other kind you do. Gloves always. Yeah. I think eventually I will. I I always see those like people making tables and stuff, and they make it look all 3D, and I just think that looks amazing. I want these skulls to kind of be fucked up, so I've done that, but with a charcuterie board. Ooh, that's cool. Tell me more about that. Like what you painted it, or did you do like a clay model or something? Definitely need more practice. A while we're still alive, all we can practice, right? Every day could be a practice day. I say as I am definitely not practicing as much as I should. Sanded down the wood and then used epoxy resin and color additives to create the effect. Cool. If you have a picture of that, feel free to show it off. That's really cool. Have to remember to take one for sure. And you don't have to post it in the Discord if you don't want. You can just drop the link in the chat next time you have the picture and you feel like it. Okay, bueno. Oops, did not want to add glow. You're a cat owner, so will likely appreciate this. My boy's sitting on my lap cuddling while I work on this album. Aw, gave me a mini heart attack when extra paws reached up from him to touch my hands. Apparently, he and his sister are both on me, and I didn't realize they were both black cats. Oh my gosh. Oh, totally, totally get it. Skynet has a mostly black dog, so she also gets it. That's hilarious. Nothing like the mini heart attack of extra paws trying to touch you. Constantly misplace her, and she's 50 pounds. Was not prepared for six paws. Oh no. Spider cat. Yep. Aw, I bet they're adorable though. Love animals, man. Just snapped a picture of them and dropped it in the Discord. Not quite as cute as they are sketched out now and no longer on me, but they still cute because they're cats. Aw, Always looking for cats, man. Let me see. Oh, they're so cute. I love them. If y'all want to go see, it's in the Discord under all animals. So cute. Looks like we've got an ad starting in about a minute, folks. Just FYI. Make sure you grab something to drink, do some stretches so you're not all slouched over. And thank you all for being here with me on this real chill Sunday. Couldn't do it without all y'all, all y'all. Lyle. Words are hard. Welcome back, everybody. Gonna lurk for a bit, do the dishes, be right back. Okay, for sure, Skynet. If somebody wants to do my dishes, they are ready for you. Actually, don't think I wanted that color. I'm gonna do it that color here. There. haven't been labeling my layers, so I have to go back and do that real quick. Alrighty, that's obviously the skulls aren't done yet, but just want to play around with having them have some fire inside. Right? Got to give them some highlights. Exactly. Originally, I was thinking about doing like, like a candle on each of their heads, but that doesn't really work when you have them held on by the top of their heads by a rope or string. So this guy did not floss when he was alive. Doggo came in from the yard, licked her paws on the sofa to leave a nice wet spot, then went back to the yard. Mother, clean this for me, would you? Just, sharing means caring. Yeah, we're gonna do that on a different Yeah, I definitely like them better with the flames inside. Um, Unfortunately, my hand is starting to ache, and I promised myself I would not try to push it. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to raid someone. If you know anybody, specifically an artist, it doesn't have to be an artist, but I'm trying to raid into other artists. Um, but if you know somebody, please let me know. Otherwise, I will choose one here in a little bit. I was really hoping to get a little bit more done, but I do like the progress that's been made. I don't think I'm going to share this one on Instagram yet, if at all, since it is a gift. I did get plenty done. I got a lot done, and I went for about an hour and a half longer than I originally planned to. Awesome. Yes, have a great rest of your day as well. Let me see who all is streaming now. It's like, oh look, Savage Condition. Oh, let's see, let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, look, this person is doing traditional painting and it's a castle. Yeah, I found a brand new person. And so that is who we're going to raid into. Raid, and looks like the name is Dawn Lynch Design. Looks really cool. Dawn Lynch Design. Sweet. All right, we'll go ahead and get that raid started. Let me also drop the socials real quick again. If you are interested and you like what you saw, you want to see more, check out the Instagram and the Discord. I've got works in progress as well as finished pieces. Yeah, I think that's about it. But if you'd like to leave a follow, please consider it. I would be most appreciative. Getting all discombobulated trying to do a bunch of different things at once. Oh no, we're not going to an ad now. That is done and done. Yeah, but make sure you all take care of yourselves the rest of this weekend. Try to relax. I know Monday's not far off, but it's gonna be okay, y'all. Hang in there. Um, I will see y'all next time. I hope you have